Hey everybody, welcome to Chiller Theater. I'm your fat, ugly little host, Ned the Dead. With me, as always, is the captain of condensed, the spinning master blaster. It's Dr. Moreau. How you feeling there, Chinky?
Oh.
Yeah, nice. I know, it gets a little... You know, it's when kids do that and they're little and you think it's funny and then they fall over, Dr. Moreau still does that. And it's kind of...
It don't cost nothing.
No, that's exactly right. And it's relatively safe, if you know what I mean. Also, tonight we have the unusual and upsetting Logan. There is the unusual and upsetting Logan.
We have at awe by his twirling.
We have Josh, who's not allowed to be on camera because he says and does things that are unusual. And we have Nick and Nate in the booth. Stick with us for Dementia 13, Francis Ford Coppola's first sort of real movie thingy. Enjoy. We'll be back. Hey, friends, welcome back to Chiller Theater. I'm Ned the Dead. It's Dr. Moreau. Doctor, talk about the movie. I know you love it.
Do you think that it's more amazing that the radio works underwater?
I think that's amazing.
Or that it's getting reception?
I think both. I think it's that fact that it works at all underwater. You know, reception to me, who's to say? Because I've never tried to get it. I know my cell phone doesn't even work in my car, so certainly you're not going to get cell reception underwater. I can tell you that much.
Judging by the rockabilly, it was probably AM.
How many of you have dropped your cell phone in the toilet? You know, one time I had it go through the wash and I called them and they said, you wouldn't believe how many drop it in the toilet. I'm thinking maybe you go a little differently than I do. You know what I'm saying? Because what is it, when you go to the bathroom, do you like whip open your pants or what happens? I mean, I don't understand. All right. Now, what about the lady in the boat? Talk about the lady in the boat. I know, fine. I'm a screwball, everybody.
Luana Anders, enjoy her. She was a very underrated actress.
We're going to talk about her
really
coming
famous.
up. We'll tell you what happened because he wants to say. I know he wants to share. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Dementia 13, Francis Ford Coppola's first sort of movie, except Josh says he helped direct The Terror, so we got to go with what Josh says.
Okay,
Otherwise
Josh.
he drives us nuts when we're here. All right. Now, you know, the scene in the boat at the beginning of the movie. Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
Luana Anders is playing Louise.
All
She's a very underrated actress. Should have been famous. The people that know her best are other actors. In fact,
I love her.
Jack Nicholson, when he got his Oscar for As Good as It Gets, gave her a shout-out 2 years after she passed away. As one of the best people that he ever worked with.
There you go. So now that's actually pretty cool. I mean, rarely, you know, we have a lot of Peter Graves, but we rarely have, you know what I'm saying? But we rarely have people who would get a shout-out from Jack. That's a fairly good thing.
Also, in this movie, I got to point out that there is a Star Trek connection.
Oh, Josh, are you ready?
William Campbell, who is Captain Koloth in The Trouble with Tribbles.
Oh,
and
not just a Star Trek connection.
Yeah.
Trouble with Tribbles, baby.
How about that?
That is good.
Yeah.
Tell you what, folks, if you're like me, I mean, who doesn't want to go for a midnight swim in your underwear with dolls on a rope? You know, to me, you do too, dude. You know what?
Actually, I think it was twine.
You know, twine. There's a lot of nights where I'm thinking, what am I going to do? You know, and I live out in the country and stuff like that. So a lot of times I'll just strip down to my underwear. I'll have a bunch of coffee, and then I get out some twine, and I dig up some of my dolls that I have. And I tie their heads to the rope, and then I go for a really icky, murky swim in the horrible black water in the middle of the night. Yet when I get in the water, it's strangely light. It's amazing. And if there's a cameraman down there, I make sure to swim real close to him with my bottom and with my sides so that you can enjoy I mean, it was, you know, movies like this always mix a little of the hot, you know, the whatever. I mean,
it distracts you so you don't see the axe coming.
That's right. And then, of course...
They did the same thing in Alien, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
See you later.
Sigourney Weaver. So let that be a lesson to you. You're out at night, you're hunting for old bushy tail.
And who hasn't done that?
And next thing you know, your head's rolling into the pine.
Oops, I may have crossed over slightly there. You know what I'm talking about. I do a lot of squirrel hunting, a lot of that. Kind of like, who's the politician who said, I've been a hunter my whole life and he hunted twice? Was that Mitt Romney guy? Is that who it was? Oh, I've been hunting my whole life and it turns out he hunted once when he was 17 and once last week. You know, that's some funny stuff.
Nothing major.
You know, I ain't been out on any squirrel hunts, but I have eaten myself plenty of squirrel, and that is mighty fine eating. And I'm not kidding on that either. You probably think,
Squirrel
yeah, right.
Good.
Hey, squirrel, you've eaten squirrel, right, Logan?
Squirrel.
Have you ever eaten squirrel that you have actually procured?
Dispatched?
No.
You did not dispatch.
I have dispatched it.
Hey, what are you doing over there? Oh, dispatching the squirrel. So you've never dispatched the squirrel? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Come on, Logan. Tell the truth. How about any of you? I bet many of you have dispatched squirrels. We'll talk in a little bit. Hey, welcome back from Dementia 13, here at Chiller Theater. Now, the weird, creepy brother who picked her up at the airport at the beginning.
Billy?
When you cut, oh, my coffee, I knew that I was missing something. You know, when you come back to him in that scene and she joins him, and he's just sitting with a candle and a piece of paper dripping wax onto the paper. That's what he's doing for fun. So, you know, to me, I think of things, well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to fix the screen door. I'm going to make lunch. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to light a candle and watch the wax drip onto a piece of paper. That, my friends, that bears watching, because the kind of human that does that for fun is a person that has problems. You know what I'm saying?
That boy's not right.
That's like when you pull hairs out or whatever, you know, and, you know, one time I wasn't paying any attention, so I'm sitting in the living room. I rip out one of those huge ear hairs. My kid's watching me. I don't realize it. And then I ate it. I don't know what I was thinking. I ate it, and he looked at me like I was out of my mind. All right, everybody, we get a lot of mail as we go here. This is from Vicky. Vicky sends us a lot of stuff. We get some really cool stuff from Andy or Andre. Here's from Vicky. Okay, you guys, I'm becoming a rebel in my own age. Listen up. If I ever have to endure the corpse grinders or werewolves in a girl's dormitory again, I swear I'll ingest the following: 1 can of Hormel chili, 1 pound of head cheese, 1 large can of sauerkraut, 3 ounces of liver sausage, 6 ounces of haggis, 8 ounces of curdled buttermilk, 6 hard-boiled eggs with horseradish, 1 whole onion, 6 ounces of pickled beets, a jar of pickled pig feet, and 4 squares of X-Lax, just for good measure. Then I'll wait for 45 minutes, if possible, and stick my finger down my throat, regurgitate the whole mess into a large Ziploc bag, and send it to you unrefrigerated. I really will. You know I will. By the way, Doc, your retainer rocks from the other week when you had the horrible teeth in there. This is Vicky, the amazing Vicky from Appleton. Vicky, we'll be waiting for your bag of funk. Let me tell you that. Oh, Vicky, way. Hey, welcome back, everybody, from the conclusion.
You were right.
It was the wax dripper. I'm telling you, when you spend time, let's do a doubler. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Ow, that one.
I forgot the cup.
It affects, it's like the Doppler effect. It gets it going in a weird kind of it doesn't work and whatever. But you know, it was the wax dripper. You knew. I mean, when the dude does junk like that, you got to think something funky. I could have turned it off right then, although we're really glad you didn't. Also, we want to thank our fabulous sponsor, Van Vreedes. We want to thank everybody who's a sponsor of this program. And we want to thank our fabulous crew, Logan and Josh and Nate and Nick and the whole gang. And I want to thank you, Dr. Moreau, because you're a big, beautiful man. Hey, coming up next week, we have Giant Gila Monster. And in 2 weeks, we have Enemy from Space, which is the 1-year anniversary of Dr. Moreau being on this horrible old show and livening it up a lot. So join us.
My anniversary.
Coming on up, baby.